Back in 2008, we were introduced to the new formula of Mortal Kombat in next-gen consoles thanks to the teams of Midway and Warner Bros. Interactive of Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, a fighting game that pretty much set the tone for the Mortal Kombat series of this age. In 2011, after the fall of Midway, NetherRealm Studios were born, and they, along with publishment from Warner, developed a remastered, 3D, polished, and vividly gory version of the beloved original Mortal Kombat, with a reboot simply known as Mortal Kombat, or MK9 from a fan standpoint. A game that gained high acclaim for its vivid use of combat, very fluid and responsive controls, and of course the insane reinvented fatalities. So enough with the history lesson. The game we have on our plate today is none other than the highly anticipated Injustice: Gods Among Us, with the very same studio that brought you Mortal Kombat, or MK9, only this time with strictly DC Universe heroes and villains. Judging from the revealings at E3 2012 and the demo release for PSN and Xbox Live, it's no secret that the combat looks to be fun and promising, but nothing will be written off until this entire game has been reviewed, and that's what I'm here for. So without further ado, let's see if Injustice: Gods Among Us lives up to high expectation. Alright, so the main story of Injustice is told in character sequences, just like MK9 Mortal Kombat vs. DC was, where each character gets some shine through a cinematic story. Without digging too much into detail, the story surrounds a sum of characters landing in an alternate dimension where some of the good guys are bad but for good reasons and for a cause in which they thought they were doing right but they really weren't. Confusing synopsis, huh? Well, as you would expect, the three very mains of this story surround Batman, Superman, and the Joker, and a series of twists that gets the whole DC universe involved. I never had a problem with this formula, but where the only true problem lies with a story like this is that it just gets somewhat confusing at times. When I ran into my anti-hero counterparts at times, I got confused in which one I actually was until we actually started fighting. Aside from that, I felt the story was well made and nice to play through. Through the course of the story, there are many games that test your button reaction speed. A not needed addition, but a cool addition to play through, as it's different per character. Every character has that personality you would expect. Batman still has that tough as nails personality, Superman still has that iconic heroic appeal, and the Joker is still crazy as mad cow shit, just to name a few. All in all, it was very enjoyable and exactly what it was meant to be. Fun. The visuals in Injustice caught me by surprise, because to be honest, from seeing the E3 trailers at first, I was not too impressed with the graphics. It was until I played the demo that I actually realized that this game has pretty nice looking graphics during fight. The only gripe I really have in the full game is during the cinematic scenes where the characters look more washed out when compared to combat where everything just looks great. The blood and gore you got from MK9 is not quite in this game, as of course you should expect. After all, this is a DC Universe game. Gotta keep it clean for the kids. There is some blood though, more than Mortal Kombat vs. DC to give you an example. The audio is very good. You can tell that a lot of these voices, especially for the Batman Universe characters, are from the Arkham series, which is always a double plus to me. But man oh man, I wish they had Mark Hamill in that studio to do the Joker's voice, who absolutely killed it in the Arkham series. The actors as a whole did a really good job and to the teeth with the character they were voicing. So overall, the visual cutscenes are not that great, but actual fighting is beautiful, and the audio fared pretty good. Alright, so it's no secret that the bread and butter to any fighting game is of course its gameplay, and in Injustice, it's no different. I love the combat in this game. As you'd expect, it feels a lot like MK9 as it should, but it has its pure originality along for the mix. The combat system sets you with a series of directional inputs, and with each character a series of special finisher moves. The game sticks with 3D character, 2D dimensional plane, meaning no sidestep, as MK's style has always been. There is no round system. Instead, you have a system of 2 health bars that grant both players a break when each bar reaches its end till the last man is standing. There's also the additional wager battle simply known as the Clash, where opponents go head to head in a cutscene sequence, and the best wager wins or ties. What I like about combat is that characters have a series of playstyles depending on who you pick. Someone like Doomsday, Black Adam, and Bane would be excellent for up close and personal combat. For distant play, you would fare better with launchers such as Green Lantern, and a balance of both would be Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Harley Quinn, Joker, and Green Arrow, just to name a few. There's also a mode called STAR Labs, where each character has challenges and tasks to complete. I played a few multiplayer matches, and I can say at this moment the servers are running smooth as butter and hardly had any problem with lag, and they have definitely improved from MK9's standpoint, which had terrible lag. The list of modes in multiplayer is similar to MK9's setup, like King of the Hill and of course Versus, where points and objectives can be earned. To sum up Injustice, the least I can say is that it's pure fun. Although the story throws some unnecessary loops and confusing plots in, it's not hard to get over, and it's pretty nice how the sequence plays out through each character's POV. Like I said, I'm not impressed with the dryness of cutscenes when the story is heavy of cutscenes, but I really do like the in-game combat visuals. Voice actors did a very good job as well. The gameplay sells with me. I really like the smoothness and alert input to combos, and although not the deepest of fighting games when it comes to moves, it is a very interesting and fun one to pick up and play. I give Injustice Gods Among Us an 8.5 out of 10. This is iDCL, and I'm out. Peace. Like that dope music in the background? The music was made by none other than Slangdee. So go to his channel, check it out, and subscribe now.